That's what happened. They did that to close it off. And so when we strengthen the county-wide side of the 300 concerned citizens, no need to change our name. If we get 3,000, we're not going to change the 3,000 concerned citizens. We keep it 300. I like people thinking we're little and it's insignificant. But when we make a move, folks will know. And we're not going to make a move until we know that we have enough power to do it, so that we keep a strong name. So those are the races that are going on, and so you can keep that for yourself. So you can see as you have coming up, you see the runoffs that are coming up. So that's kind of the plan that we'll do. But the group organizers is the most important piece. We got to get 40 of them to get us 15 of these signed pledges, and everybody here that's interested in being a part, whether you want to be a group organizer or not, make sure you leave this completed form today so that you'll get added to the blast and to the automated calls to keep you up to date. And then if you might not want to be a group leader, but you might know someone that says hey, I'd like to, and all you have to do is just email and say, hey, send me a form. And then we can print off 15, and I got somebody that wants to do it. But that's all we need to do to keep our strength going to where we're fine on the city level. I mean, we still have our plus 300 strong on the city level, but I still want you to get more city voters. And now we're even becoming more diverse because now we have some groups, like some neighborhoods associations and things like that are kind of waiting to see what direction that we're going to go, and they're kind of making a commitment to go in the direction that we want to go. And so it's not just stuff, but we have groups that think like us that are saying, hey, we like what you all did last time, and we want to go with you all this time. And so we have some good influence. We're fine on the city level, but we're not going to get lazy. But on the county level, we do need to build up that database so that in 2018 we can make a difference. Is there anybody now that want to throw your hand up to be a group leader, or you all just want to handle that in the
I would like to think about that. I'm a county resident.
Okay.
Brother White, the American Legion Post. That's what.
Okay.
Brother White, you very like it. But I would like to make that decision later on.
Okay.
Seems like something I want to do because I hear what you're saying. It's very important to have that kind of strength and numbers.
I appreciate that. All right. So let's move forward. And now we are at what are our issues? I think it's going to be important to us as we move forward. We need to know what we think is important, so that we can kind of, we have our platform. These are the issues that we think are important. Like last time, one of the major ones was diversity in city employment as it relates to the city races, and that issue worked for us. And we made a difference. We've doubled our employment rate since the last election in African American employment, and I think it's working better for everyone. And so we want to decide, what are our issues? What do we think is important? So right now, I'm just going to kind of leave the floor open for you all to kind of just start dialogue, and people can respond just to tell some things that you think they are important, why they're important, what makes you raise the issue. Is there anybody that has some stuff that they would like to throw out there with the group that we should consider?
Yeah, I do. Like business.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in the 60s. I grew up in Lincolnville, and we had businesses. We were independent. We operated on our own. We didn't pay for stuff. Barbershops, taxi cab stands, rec rooms, churches. Everything was right here that we needed. We didn't want for anything. And when I left and went in the military and came back, everything was gone. I'm like, wow, I went to fight for my country, and come back home, there's no job, there's no businesses. And that's something I hold dear to me because I'm self-employed. I've been for the last 15 years. Because I see that, working for somebody else is not getting it. And then trying to keep a job and find a high-paying job. I took computer accounting when I was in D.C. I came down here, it was just like, nobody's doing that,
So then here's my question. Do you think that government hinders the ability to have black-owned business?
I been down to the Small Business Administration. I've reached out to them as, you know, being a layperson, and, you know, told them the things that we're looking for. We're gonna set up workshops so we can start educating our people to own businesses and be successful in. So, you know, the government hasn't really reached out there and said, hey, these are opportunities, you know, that you guys need to look into.
Okay, any responses or any other ideas?
Housing. Housing market over here was basically all black owned. And when gentrification started coming in, they brought the drugs into Lincolnville. They let them run rampant for about 5 years. And then they started cleaning it up. When the money started coming in, people started buying houses. They would start raising the taxes where they kept the people that was on fixed income couldn't afford to pay their taxes because the taxes don't went up. So they either sell it or sell it out. And that's what brings the community down. But if it's not recognized, then it's too late. Like now, you know, if this had been recognized 10 years ago, 8 years ago, it could have been nipped in the bud.
So, I guess what I'm one thing about, if I'm an elected official, what is it that I do to try to, because gentrification happens everywhere, especially anytime you're near a college, or real expensive piece of region, like water. So if I'm an elected official, what do I do to try to curb complete gentrification? You can't steer. If you're in real estate, you can't steer people to go. But what is it that an elected official does to? I guess the idea is not to keep people out, but to help people stay in.
Exactly. I would say equal opportunity employment. One. You know, helping
Jobs.
Yeah, helping people get.
If I don't have a job, I can't pay these taxes and mortgages.
Right.
Specific to this community, I'm a recent, I guess, resident of Lincolnville. I'm originally from Michigan, been for 17 years, just been in Lincolnville for 1 year now. And I would just say specific to taxes, you know, on the state level, we have the homestead exemption if you own a home, right? So the value that your house is taxed at is taxed at a lower level. So specific to keeping people in this community, if the county could offer some sort of grant or some type of tax abatement for existing residents so that they might be able to stay in their homes if they are having issues with paying taxes, something to that effect.
Yeah, with the fixed income.
And the CRA, the Lincolnville CRA, I know they don't do an abatement piece, but they do something in terms of home repairs, right? So people who live in this community who can't perform repairs on their home, if they meet the criteria, they can then get a grant to fix their homes, that sort of thing. So we were able to influence elected officials to offer, you know, an abatement or something towards, you know, the elderly or people who've been in this community for years to stay in their homes by lessening the tax burden. I think that would be something that's beneficial.
Okay. And I don't just want the city, I want county, city, whatever. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was gonna say, having lived in Lincolnville for 25 plus years, and trying to better my property, I lived over on Twine Street. We were always given excuses or given answers of what we could and could not do. For example, we wanted to buy the lot next to us so that we could at least put our vehicles off the street. We wanted to cut down a tree that was corroded with roaches, and we were always told we couldn't do it. We couldn't cut the tree down. Well, when we moved, they cut the tree down. They allowed the tree to be cut down, and then the lot next to us, they told us that, well, we won't allow anybody to build it's not buildable is the word. Well, we moved, and now they have a 2-story house on their lot. So as an African American family, we felt like We could have stayed there if we had been afforded those, you know, those things that we wanted to do to upgrade our property. So, I think that a lot of African Americans are being treated that way because we were. We were told, like I said, things we could not do, but when we moved, they were done. Right there at 127 Twan Street.
Yeah, we had this conversation today, that when they're folk with money, they can pretty much get rules and laws changed. In city cases, you know, statutes and codes. And,
No.
then come to state level.
But a year after we moved,
No, that's what I'm saying, that's that, and so I think that's probably, like what you all are saying, that's probably stuff, because we wanna make sure we do our homework and be able to find cases to where, okay, it's done now, but this is what we can't continue to have. But I'm starting to see what you all are saying. That just application, so what I wrote down is equal application of codes and enforcement of rules. Just equal, and don't do it to force me out, and then when I get out and somebody come along that you want in here,
did the very same
then
thing.
all of a sudden the tree don't matter no more. You love trees, and you was trying to tear it down, you was trying to get rid of it. But now that somebody coming in here, it's different. Now, tree don't really matter. You just go plant another one over there.
I had a similar situation when I was staying over here. I had a tree cut down, but I had to go through a whole bunch of things, the Audubon Association. I had to prove to the city that the tree was a detriment to my house and or the public. And it was 55 inches wide and about 55 feet high, and it was rotten out at the bottom. So I took pictures of the sidewalk cracking up and pictures of where my house was and the street, the power line, and I presented it to the city. And after that, they made me plant 3 more trees, you know, after I took that one up. They did allow me to go ahead and do it. So I think it's kind of, you got to know what's going on in there too, what the laws are. When you get ready to build in Lincolnville, that they change. And, you know, even building codes, you know, they change the setbacks. So, well, a buildable lot, it wasn't buildable, is now buildable.
And then what's really important when you're dealing with stuff like that, you got your code enforcement and your planning board, and you got your planning and zoning board. And hard, you know, you have those boards that make it real difficult. And so who's on those boards can really matter.
Yeah, they need
I know
to be
the city could care less about that Echo House.
Right.
They didn't want it when Federation gave it to them. Back in the 60s, they quickly gave it away to Miss Gordon Mills, and she couldn't really get anything done for 40 plus years, and just deteriorated. But they passed it on to us, saying we can do something. And as soon as we got it and started seeing, well, we might be able to do this, might need to do that. Then all of a sudden now you love this old building that nobody cared about for almost 45 years. And now you're gonna bug it and embrace it and fighting us, and because now you see value in it, you're trying to figure out how you can get it back from us. And so appointment to those boards are really important. I know that it's not sour milk for me, because I was only doing it, and I see you, but I'm coming to you. It's not sour milk for me, but I remember there was just, even with the Lincolnville CRA, there was no blacks on it. There was nobody really fighting like I felt like she'd be fighting. And there was only one black in the community. It used to be a black community. And so when a vacancy came up, the fact that I own 3 corporations here, or not own, but preside over, at school, daycare, and the church, that I was president of 3 different corporations, business owner, that qualified. I applied to be on it, and none of those commissions